From princess to monster, how the realm turned on Rhaenyra Targaryen. Welcome back, everyone, to the channel where fantasy meets strategy and nostalgia fuels our digital adventures. Once the beloved daughter of a king, she was the realm's delight, until she wasn't. Her name became a curse. Her legacy, soaked in blood. From princess to monster, this is how the realm turned on Rhaenyra Targaryen. From princess to monster, how the realm turned on Rhaenyra. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon lore. The realm's delight. In the early days of Rhaenyra Targaryen's life, the Seven Kingdoms saw her as something rare, beautiful, bold, and blessed with dragon's blood. Born in 97 AC to King Viserys I Targaryen and his first wife, Queen Aemma Arryn, Rhaenyra was more than just a royal child, she was the hope of a dynasty. She rode the dragon Syrax by the age of 7. She was named the cupbearer of the king at court functions, and she charmed lords and ladies alike. She was clever, fearless, and carried herself with the unmistakable grace of old Valyria. The people called her the realm's delight. Her father adored her, and whispers at court declared her the image of a true Targaryen ruler. But this love, this hope, would be tested. And ultimately, it would shatter. The crown and the controversy. In 105 AC, everything changed. Queen Aemma died during childbirth, and the newborn son died just hours later. With no male heir, King Viserys did something unthinkable by Westerosi standards. He named his daughter Rhaenyra as his heir. For the first time in over a century of Targaryen rule, a woman was officially designated to inherit the Iron Throne. At a grand ceremony, hundreds of lords bent the knee to the young princess, swearing oaths of loyalty. But beneath those vows simmered doubt and ambition. Viserys may have declared Rhaenyra his heir, but the realm had never been ruled by a queen in her own right. And many nobles, especially those of the great houses, resented the idea. The seeds of betrayal were sown in that moment. Alicent Hightower, the usurper's mother. The fracture deepened when King Viserys married again, this time to Alicent Hightower, daughter of the cunning Otto Hightower, the hand of the king. At first, Rhaenyra and Alicent were friends. But the birth of Alicent's sons, especially Aegon II, transformed that friendship into a quiet, deadly rivalry. Viserys never wavered in his support for Rhaenyra, but Alicent's faction, soon known as the Greens, believed that a male heir, even younger, should take precedence over a female. Otto Hightower schemed in the background, reminding the court and the lords that Westeros had always followed male preference primogeniture. The small folk didn't care for the politics. But the court, it became a powder keg. The princess's personal choices. Rhaenyra didn't help her own case. She defied expectations. Where a noble lady might have remained docile, Rhaenyra lived boldly. She took lovers, scorned traditional matches, and guarded her claim to the throne with dragonfire intensity. Her marriage to Rhaenyra Velaryon, though politically advantageous, was a hollow union. Rumors swirled that her children were not his, but instead fathered by Ser Harwin Strong, another blow to her perceived legitimacy. Her sons, Jacaerys, Lucerys, and Joffrey, were dark-haired, unlike either Rhaenyra or Rhaenyra. The court whispered. The Greens weaponized these whispers, sowing public doubt about her heirs. Even though Viserys stood by Rhaenyra and publicly defended her sons, the damage was done. And as the years passed, the realm's delight slowly became the realm's question. The death of the king, the spark of war. When King Viserys finally died in 129 AC. The war began not with swords, but silence. Instead of notifying Rhaenyra at Dragonstone, the Greens kept his death a secret. In the shadows of the Red Keep, they plotted. And then, they struck. Aegon II, Alicent's son, was crowned in secrecy by Ser Criston Cole and the High Septon. Rhaenyra, still mourning her father, was denied the throne she had been promised for over 2 decades. This act was treason. This was the birth of the Dance of the Dragons. Rhaenyra, furious and betrayed, crowned herself at Dragonstone, declaring war on her half-brother and all who supported him. And now, the realm had 2 monarchs, and too many dragons. Fire and blood, the war turned savage. The war between the Blacks and the Greens devastated Westeros. Dragons burned cities, castles were sieged, children were murdered in cold blood. Each side committed horrors, but it was Rhaenyra's image that took the worst of it. After the tragic death of her son Lucerys at the hands of Aemma Targaryen, Rhaenyra unleashed her fury. Her forces captured King's Landing in a brutal campaign. She executed traitors, including the captured Queen Helaena's son, even though some say it was Aegon's son who was fed to Rhaenyra's dragon, Syrax. To the small folk, Rhaenyra began to look less like a queen, and more like a monster. She raised taxes. She punished dissent harshly. She sat on the Iron Throne, but it no longer welcomed her. The people of King's Landing grew to hate her rule. Riots broke out. They nicknamed her King Maegor with Teats. Her descent was complete. She was no longer the realm's delight. She was the Mad Queen. The fall of a queen. Rhaenyra's time on the Iron Throne was short. Her supporters dwindled. Her husband, Daemon Targaryen, disappeared, some say assassinated. Others claim he went rogue on a dragon mission never to return. And then came the ultimate betrayal, from within her own walls. In 130 AC, Aegon II returned to King's Landing. The city, tired of Rhaenyra's tyranny, turned against her. Her own guards allowed her enemies to enter. She was captured, humiliated, and thrown into a cell in the same Red Keep she once called home. She had lost her father, her sons, her husband, and now the throne. And then, she lost her life. Death by dragon. Aegon II, seeking vengeance and spectacle, delivered a final message to all who would oppose him. He fed Rhaenyra to his dragon, Sunfire. In front of her last remaining son, the future Aegon III, Rhaenyra was devoured alive. Her screams echoed through the ruins of her legacy. The message was clear: this is what happens to queens who dare to dream of power. Legacy, the queen who never was. Or was she? And yet, history is a fickle friend. Though Rhaenyra died in shame and pain, her son, Aegon III, would eventually become king. The throne would pass through her bloodline. And centuries later, Maester historians would argue, was Rhaenyra truly mad? Or was she a woman crushed by a world built to destroy her? Did the realm turn on her because she ruled poorly, or because she dared to rule at all? In her life, she was vilified. But in death, she became a symbol. A cautionary tale. A tragic heroine. A warning of how power devours all, even dragons. From the realm's delight, to a queen consumed by flame. Rhaenyra Targaryen's fall wasn't born of madness alone, it was forged by betrayal, fear, and the cruelty of thrones. But perhaps, just perhaps, the monster the realm saw was the mirror of the monster they created. Rhaenyra Targaryen's story is one of the most haunting in Westerosi history. She was promised the world, and given a crown of ashes. But her fire still burns in the memory of fans and legends alike. What do you think? Was Rhaenyra a monster, or was she a queen the realm wasn't ready for? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into House of the Dragon lore, don't forget to thumbs up, like, speech balloon, comment, bell, subscribe, loudspeaker, share with your fellow dragon riders. This has been From Princess to Monster: How the Realm Turned on Rhaenyra. Until next time, remember, in Westeros, power is power, but dragons write history. Subscribe now for more deep dives into the Targaryen dynasty, the Dance of the Dragons, and beyond. Fire coming up next. The fall of House Velaryon, what went wrong? Dagger, and don't miss Aemon One Eye, the most dangerous man in Westeros.